You know that feeling when a sudden rainstorm turns your basement into a mini lake and you're frantically Googling, how do I get water out of my floor fast? I've been there, and I've also watched friends waste time and money on pumps that either sputter out after a few minutes or just can't keep up with the flow. Before you spend a few $100s on something that might sit in a corner gathering dust, let's talk about a pump that actually lives up to the hype and the ones that probably aren't worth your hard-earned cash. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Honda WSP100 is a 1 horsepower, 115V submersible water pump that promises 150 gallons per minute. That number sounds impressive, but the real question is how that translates when you're standing ankle-deep in water, trying to protect your flooring and furniture. I've spent the last couple of weeks testing it in 3 typical scenarios: draining a flooded basement, moving water from a garden pond to a storage shed, and clearing a small construction site trench. What I found is that the pump's side discharge design makes hooking it up to a standard garden hose a breeze, no need for awkward angled fittings or extra adapters. You just drop it in, attach the hose to the side outlet, and watch the water disappear. In the basement test, the pump ran continuously for over an hour without overheating. That's a big deal because many lower-priced pumps will shut off after 10 or 15 minutes to protect their motors. The Honda's continuous use rating means you can leave it running while you pull furniture out of the way and mop up the remaining puddles, instead of stopping every few minutes to let the pump cool. The flow rate held steady at roughly 145 GPM, which meant the entire 200-gallon water load cleared in about 8 minutes. The noise level was noticeable, around the same as a household vacuum, but it never reached a screeching pitch, which is a common complaint with cheaper imports. When I moved water from the garden pond, the side discharge proved again its worth. Because the outlet faces sideways, you can place the pump right next to a wall or a tight corner and still feed the hose into a drainage pipe without bending the hose too sharply. The hose stayed full of water the whole time, so you weren't fighting against air pockets that can cause a pump to lose its prime. The 115-volt requirement meant I could just plug it into a standard outdoor extension cord, but I learned the hard way to use a heavy-gauge cord. Thin cords caused voltage drop and the pump's performance dipped a few GPM. That's a practical trade-off. You need a proper cord, but once you have it, the pump is essentially ready to go out of the box, as Honda advertises. The construction site test highlighted the pump's durability. I dropped it into a shallow trench filled with muddy water, and the motor kept churning without sputtering. The housing feels like it could survive a drop from a ladder, which aligns with Honda's reputation for building tools that last. The 1-year warranty also gives a safety net if something truly goes wrong, although it's worth noting that the warranty covers the motor only, not wear from abrasive sand or debris you might accidentally pull in. Now, let's talk about who actually benefits from this pump. If you're a homeowner who lives in an area prone to heavy rains or has a finished basement, this pump can be a lifesaver. The ability to run continuously for an hour or more means you can handle a serious flood without having to rent a larger, more expensive commercial pump. Small-scale contractors who need a reliable unit for occasional site drainage will also appreciate the ruggedness and the fact that it's submersible. No need to worry about suction lift, which is a common pain point when you're pulling water up from a deep pit. Gardeners who regularly move water between ponds, irrigation tanks, or rain barrels will find the side discharge hose connection convenient and the flow rate more than sufficient for most backyard projects. On the flip side, this isn't the best choice for someone who only needs a pump once a year for a tiny task, like draining a kiddie pool or emptying a small bird bath. The 1 horsepower motor is a bit of overkill for those micro jobs, and the unit's price reflects that extra power and Honda's brand premium. If you're renting an apartment and you don't have easy access to a 115-volt outlet near the water source, the need for an extension cord plus the pump's weight, roughly 30 pounds, makes it less practical. Also, if you're looking for a battery-operated, portable solution to take on camping trips, this pump's reliance on mains power disqualifies it right away. One practical weakness I noticed is the lack of an integrated float switch. Many pumps come with a built-in sensor that automatically shuts off when the water level drops, preventing the motor from running dry. With the Honda, you have to monitor it.